Howdy, it's Mike with the Claim Squad Public Adjusters. And how can you get the homeowner's insurance policy or the homeowner's insurance company to pay for a property damage claim when you're not represented by a public adjuster or an attorney? Let me state this caveat right off the bat. If you have a greater than $10,000 claim, I do not recommend you try to navigate the claim process with an insurance company or an insurance company's adjuster without representation. But let's say you want to go ahead and do it. There's a lot of landmines you have to definitely weave through, and you could hurt your own claim. I've seen it many times. Sometimes we're able to recover and help an individual, sometimes we're not. So to give you an example, let's say you had a roof damage claim from wind, and you tell the insurance company, I had this big rainstorm and now we have a leak inside the house. Well, a rainstorm and rain is not covered for your roof damage claim. High winds are. All right. Other things that I see, water damage claim. Individual will be like, you know, I didn't realize I had this leak for a while. I just found it, and I had a plumber come and he said that leak's been there for about 2 months. That's probably going to get your claim denied. Why? Because two words that the insurance companies want to hear: long-term and gradual. So if your leak is long-term and gradual, they're not going to cover it. They're going to deny your claim. Now, on the other hand, if you were to say that this happened suddenly and abruptly, they would have to cover the claim. So these are just two small examples of how the insurance company can deny your claim because you're simply telling them what you think happened. And so now you have a denied claim. If they have you on record and it's a recorded statement, there's not much we can do, unfortunately. We can always take a look at it and try to. And I have been able to navigate around that type of situation before, but it's not easy. So sometimes we as people are our own worst enemies. So let's get into how you can really help settle your own claim. So number one is, when the insurance company gives you an estimate, wait for their estimate first, and then you get an estimate from a contractor that's much higher. Because the insurance company's estimate is going to be very low. So you want to do that to help your case as far as the estimate of damages. Get a contractor, get multiple contractors, 2 or 3, and you go out the higher one. All right, that's number one. Number two, when you also provide a contractor's estimate, provide some extra money for things you're not even accounting for. So if you have to move around some of your furniture, give yourself a couple $100. All right. If you have to clean stuff up, give yourself a couple $100. If there's things that you have to dispose of that the contractor won't, give yourself a couple $100 for handling hazardous materials. That's another way. Tip number three on how you can help settle your own claim is this: when an adjuster comes over to your property and they're going to take a look around, find out everything that's damaged, what you do is this. Very important. Very important. Probably the number one tip that I give. When they come in, ask if you can record everything. And you walk around with them. And you show them where the damage is at. And when he looks at the damage, let's say it's a wall. You ask him, Mr. Adjuster, is my wall right there damaged? Now, if you have a hole in the wall, he should hopefully say yeah. And say, okay, Mr. Adjuster, my ceiling stained from a roof leak. Is that damage? Yes, he hopefully would say. And you got to capture him on the record for everything. If your floors are damaged, Mr. Adjuster, can you see where all my floors are damaged? Yes. Okay. Now, if he says no to any of that, great. Guess what? You have him on video. You have him recorded. Okay. This point is very important because nobody does it. Nobody gives a tips. Nobody knows what to do. But this can really enhance your claim, because when you go back and you see all these elements that are damaged and you didn't get credit for, you have it on video. So it's very, very powerful. That's one of my favorite tips to give people. So let me give you another tip. Don't stop fighting. Don't stop fighting for the money that you think you deserved. Don't stop fighting based on the fact of what they may tell you. Okay? Continue to go back. If they say, no, we're only going to pay you $2,000 and it costs $4,000 to repair something, you keep on going back. You keep on being a pain in their butt. And you keep on fighting. Now, tip number 5. Let's say the insurance company didn't treat you fairly. Let's say things aren't going well. Let's say they're giving you a hard time. They're not answering your phone calls. They're not returning your phone calls. They're not answering your emails. What can you do? You're trying everything to get a hold of them. This happens a lot. Every time I represent somebody, it's usually because the insurance company is not treating people fairly. They're not returning their phone calls. And so they get frustrated. And they say, heck with it, I'm just going to hire somebody like me to go ahead and help represent them. Well, believe it or not, if you go to the state of Florida, you Google state of Florida insurance complaint or file a complaint against an insurance company, you can file a complaint against the insurance company. And you can write in there, insurance company's not returning phone calls, they're not communicating, they're not paying my claim, they're not giving me an answer. Whatever you want to put in there, you put it, because from the state, it goes directly to the insurance company. And usually they have people that facilitate and manage these type of complaints, and then they should get a hold of you and hopefully see what they can do. There's a few small tips that I'm giving out, but this is just something that's really going to help when it comes to settling your claim. And finally, let me give this last tip. It's not really something that gives inside scoop, but always remain professional, okay? Always try to adhere to being polite, being professional, because the one thing they're used to people yelling at them, they're used to people cussing at them, they're used to people calling them names, and I kid you not, I worked for an insurance company before, I know this. They're used to getting nasty emails. They're used to getting told, okay, I'm going to talk to your lawyer. They're used to saying, well, I'm not going to use you guys anymore. These people have a job to do. And while we don't like the job they do, you just have to understand it and at least respect it. There's a way you can always fight them and do it professionally and without getting a little bit too overboard as far as your emotions. I know it's tough because it's your property and you feel like you're not being treated fairly. I get it. I really do. So just want to make this quick video with just a few tips. Hopefully it helps. There are other things that you can actually do to enhance your claim, and I'll make another video at another time. But it is difficult to deal with the insurance companies. I'm right with you. I understand perfectly. But if you employ a couple of these tips, it will put you in a better position to fight the insurance company and hopefully settle your claim. I'm Mike with the Claim Squad Public Adjusters. Hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you.